Hey guys, Nthefastlane here. In this video, I'm going to be removing rust from metal. Now, with this method, it's non-toxic, has no acid, fume-free, and it's safe on your skin. We'll get into that right after this. If you need to purchase any of the items in this video, you can always find it on my website. It'll say shop this video underneath the video. If you're on my YouTube channel, it'll say shop this video in the About Me section, or I always pin it to the top comments, it'll say shop this video. Now the Metal Rescue Rust Remover Bath is what actually removes the rust. You mix the solution with water, put the part in, and it removes the rust. As soon as it's done, you pull it out, you need to hit it with the dry coat. The dry coat actually puts a coating on it so that it prevents the part from oxidizing. So for the rust remover bath, this one right here, it's no acid, non-toxic, fume-free, and it's safe on skin. It's also environmentally friendly, and it also is safe on drains and sewer systems. Now, one thing that's awesome about the Metal Rescue Rust Remover Bath, it's reusable. You can reuse this up to ½ a pound of rust. So it'll remove up to ½ a pound of dry rust, and once it's opened, it has a shelf life of 1 year. Now the dry coat rust preventative, this one also is non-toxic, it's environmentally friendly, and it's water-based. This stuff dries real quick, and it's not sticky or tacky after it dries. Now this dry coat will prevent rust for 1 year with indoor use. Well, there's nothing better for a project like this than a bucket full of rusted bolts, nuts, washers, springs, you name it. So we'll go ahead and use this for the rust remover and see how it really works. Alright, so what we're going to need for this rust removal job is the Metal Rescue. So that right there does up to 1 gallon. You're going to need 1 gallon of water, so just get yourself a gallon jug of water, fill it up, good to go. We'll need some plastic gloves. We don't need the plastic gloves for the Metal Rescue, we need it for the rust. So you don't want to get that oxidized rust all over your skin. It's not really good for you. Get yourself some goggles, and we need a plastic pan. Now the plastic pan is a 12 quart. If you don't know what 1 gallon is, 1 gallon of water is 4 quarts. Then you add a little bit more of the rust removal, so that's going to make it maybe 5 quarts, something like that, maybe 6 at most. But you kind of want it to be halfway in the pan, so 6 times 2 is 12, so I figured I'd get a 12 quart pan. I'll have all this stuff in my shopping cart if you need it, so don't worry about it. Alright, here we go. First thing we're going to do is just take the gallon jug of water and pour it in there. Well, it looks like there's a little bug in there, he's going to get drowned. So go ahead and pour this in. Alright, for all the bug people, I'll save the bug, gosh. There's your bug, I saved him. Okay, so, we got the Metal Rescue Bath, we'll go ahead and break it open. Just puncture it with your finger, and just move it all around. Just mix it by hand. Alright, there we go. I'm just going to spin it around. Alright, that looks like it's mixed. Next step, I'm going to take a couple bolts. Now, if you have a look at this one, good look at it. I mean, that thing's done. See that? That thing is toast. It needs to be cleaned really good. It's a crank bolt. So let's go ahead and put that in there. So we got that. Let's just put this rusted spring in there. I mean, that spring is rusted. Up. Look at this guy. Horrible. And we got something else here, some kind of rusted up contraption. Okay, this is a good one. This is a real rusted up bolt right here. And just put a nut in there. Rusted up nut. Real bad. Another one. Rusted nut and bolt. Pretty much a stud. Alright, we'll let that sit in there and see what happens. According to this stuff, light rust up to 2 hours, moderate rust up to 12 hours, heavy rust up to 48 hours. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to leave this for overnight or maybe even 2 nights, because I guess I went all out with that heavy rust. You don't get too much more rusted than that. Now, one thing I did notice is there's no fumes, nothing. You can just put your head down in there, breathe. I don't smell anything. That's fantastic. If you've ever used a muriatic acid or hydrochloric acid, you're practically walking around like a pyro off Team Fortress 2. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, you got to wear all kinds of masks and can't even be near the stuff. It'll pretty much take your breath away. And this doesn't have any of that. So, you know, just put your parts in there and you can just continue working in the shop and don't have to worry about wearing a mask. So basically, I'll come back later, check it out, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to go ahead and put this lid over it just so no more bugs get in there. And, well, we'll see what happens. Alright, so it's been about 19 hours. I'm going to go ahead and pop the lid. Now keep in mind, none of these bolts were stirred or agitated. No heat was applied. Just sitting in the solution. Wow, it's pretty dark in there. So let's have a look at this one. This is the crank bolt. And as you can see, super clean. That's a good looking bolt right there. Really, really clean. What else we got here? This was really bad. I remember before I left, I checked it at the 2-hour mark, and this one was super rusted. This is a lot of oil, some hard oil, so you just kind of get a little toothbrush or something and scrub it off. But other than that, it came out really good. So we got a spring. Spring came out pretty nice. Here's a nut. Let's see how the nut did. Oh wow, that nut came out really nice. Even the inside threads are real nice. Looks like we got a little bit of cake done. Just hit it with the little brush, come right off. Alright, looks like we got some kind of axle shim. Really clean. Nice. This one was really bad right here. I remember this one. This one was super rusted. But really, really clean. I mean, look at that. It's practically a brand new bolt. The best part is no fumes. It's non-toxic, and you can reuse it. Doesn't really lose its strength until you get to about a ½ pound of rust, they said. Really nice. Pretty impressed, actually. Like I said, I've never used this product. This is the first time, and I'm actually impressed by it. So, it says a lot. So the next thing you want to do is you want to immediately spray it with dry coat. If you wait too long, the bolts will start to rust. And I'll show you a good example of that. If you look closely, that's already starting to rust. That's a light coat of rust, so it's starting to oxidize right away. So you want to get in there real quick and just give it a quick mist. Here we go. A little bit of rust right there. So we'll just take this dry coat, and we just put it on the sprayer. Give it a quick mist. And that's pretty much it. Now the claim is that it won't rust for another year with this dry coat as long as it's with indoor use. So outdoor use, I can't put anything to that, so I don't know about that. But that's still some kind of guarantee that it's not going to rust. Most bolts, if they're, you know, harbored inside a thread, they won't rust anyway. Now a few close-ups of these parts. I mean, if you check that out, that is super, super clean. Really nice. I got this bolt right here. This one was really bad. And this bolt wasn't touched at all. No brush, nothing. This is exactly how it came right out of the solution. There's the nut right here. A little bit of, I think that's pitting. Yeah, it's just a little bit of pitting. It's got a real nice finish to it. I kind of like the darkness. That's some pitting right there. You're not going to fix that. This one was really bad. This one probably was the worst one out of the bunch. Actually, I take it back. It was this one. That one probably could have stayed in there a little longer. This is where the spring was sitting on the bottom. This was the top. Probably have to flip it. But other than that, it came out real nice if you look in between the spring. Not too bad. Now this right here would be what the spring used to look like. This is one of many of the springs that were in there. This is actually the same exact spring. So here's a good before and after.